The San Francisco 49ers have quietly added a star to their roster, but oddly enough, the buzz around this move is surprisingly muted. It feels like the magnitude of this acquisition is flying under the radar, and in my view, that's a huge oversight. This player has the potential to be a game changer for the team, and in this narrative, I'm going to break down why I think this is true and why everyone should be paying closer attention. Before diving deep into that, let me ask you, what do you think is the ceiling for this 49ers squad this season? How many wins do you realistically see them securing? This question is far from trivial, especially given the makeup of the team right now. Their defense is still quite young, which naturally invites some unpredictability. There will be rough patches, occasional missteps, and inconsistent performances. Yet, when you look at the core of the team on both offense and defense, the experience is undeniable. There's a solid foundation of veterans who know what it takes to compete at a high level, mixed in with a few genuine holes and battles still ongoing in training camp for starting roles. So, given that context, what do you see as the realistic win total? Do you peg them at 12 victories? 13? I personally hope the minimum expectation is double-digit wins, because anything less means we're seeing the team from drastically different perspectives. The roster situation, especially on offense, has sparked a lot of conversation. Shedding Deebo Samuel hasn't seemed to rattle the core that much, at least from the perspective of many analysts and fans. Keeping that main group intact while integrating promising talent like Brandon Ayuk, who flashed some impressive moments, and Ricky Pearl, who looks poised to make a bigger impact this year, paints a promising picture for the offense. The feeling around the offense is largely optimistic. Kyle Shanahan's system has consistently shown adaptability and efficiency, even when the team has had to shuffle quarterbacks or deal with personnel turnover. That stability under Shanahan is something fans have grown to trust. On the defensive side, the return of Robert Saleh as defensive coordinator brings renewed energy and sharpness. Combine that with the elite presence of Nick Bosa on the defensive line, and Fred Warner anchoring the linebacker cores, plus a group of young defenders like Demidor Leonard stepping up, and it's clear the defense is in capable hands. Moreover, the team boasts 3 draft picks, ranked among the top 75 defensive players recently selected, underscoring the front office's focus on building a strong defensive foundation. Last season's setbacks were largely attributed to injuries, which can't be overlooked. Losing key players like Christian McCaffrey and Brandon Ayuk had a tangible impact on the team's rhythm and overall performance. It's no secret that injuries disrupt continuity, especially when they hit skill positions and linemen. If Trent Williams remains healthy and in form, the offense's prospects look even brighter. Many experts point to Williams as the linchpin of the offense when he's playing at his peak. The entire unit flows better, so in many ways, his health might be the best indicator of how far this offense can go. Defensively, with a mix of seasoned veterans and young players who are still developing, the potential for a deep playoff run feels very much alive. We're talking about a roster that might just be a few impactful young players away from returning to the Super Bowl stage. But here's where things get especially interesting. A lot of eyes have been on the big names, the star draft picks, and the household veterans. But the 49ers quietly acquired Demarcus Robinson, a player who, in my opinion, is vastly underrated and largely overlooked in public discourse. Robinson's situation at his previous team was unique. He was essentially edged out by Devontae Adams, who understandably commands a large share of targets and offensive focus. That's not a knock on Robinson. It's simply a reflection of team dynamics when you have a receiver of Adams' caliber. Despite that, Robinson's numbers last season were impressive, especially considering he had fewer receptions compared to many wide receivers around the league. He hauled in 31 receptions for over 500 yards, averaging more than 16 yards per catch, which ranked him 6th among wide receivers in yards per reception. That's elite deep threat production. He also scored 7 touchdowns, placing him 18th in the league for receiving touchdowns. Quite notable, given the crowded wide receiver landscape in the NFL. To put that in perspective, the NFL is awash with talented receivers, many playing in spread offenses that favor multiple wide-out sets. Among nearly 100 receivers evaluated, Robinson ranked near the bottom in total catches, but was top 20 in touchdown receptions. That tells you everything you need to know about his role. He's a player who makes the catches that matter most, especially in the red zone and on big plays. He's not just a possession receiver. He's a threat to stretch the field and change the complexion of a game with a single catch. He also ranked 3rd in average depth of target last season, meaning he was consistently getting the ball downfield in ways few receivers manage. For the 49ers, who have been looking for reliable deep threat options to complement their offense, Robinson fits that mold perfectly, adding to the intrigue. When you listen to the analysis from experts following the team, there's an undercurrent of excitement about how Robinson could thrive in San Francisco's system. Despite some uncertainty about whether he might miss the first few games of the season, the overall sentiment is that he will be a major contributor once he's on the field. The fact that Robinson is a 9-year veteran means he brings experience, maturity, and an understanding of NFL defenses that younger players may lack. Being pushed out of his former team was largely due to the arrival of a superstar, not a reflection of his ability. That's an important distinction. The 49ers are getting a player who can be counted on in critical moments, and who adds another layer of versatility and explosiveness to the offense. The excitement doesn't stop there. The team's salary cap management, while complicated by previous contracts, still leaves them among the top spenders in the league, which signals that they are serious about building a competitive roster. The expectation from many insiders is that the 49ers should comfortably make it to the divisional round of the playoffs, which would represent a solid baseline for success this season. While the ultimate goal for any team is to reach and win the Super Bowl, realistically, a deep playoff run would already be an accomplishment considering some of the roster changes and challenges faced over the past few seasons. In addition to offensive optimism, the defensive side is buoyed by the return of Robert Saleh, who no longer has the burden of being a head coach and can focus entirely on his strengths as a coordinator. His energy and passion for defense are well documented, and freeing him from the grind of head coaching duties, especially after a tough stint, has revitalized his approach. This could translate into a more dynamic and aggressive defense that pressures opponents and forces mistakes. Christian McCaffrey's health remains a key factor, too. The team's confidence in him is evident given the lack of high-round draft picks to replace him, which suggests they believe he will return to form. With McCaffrey back in the fold, Trent Williams healthy, and Saleh running the defense, the team has the components necessary to push for at least 11 wins. The schedule also plays in their favor, ranked as one of the easiest in the league, which should help the team capitalize on their strengths and avoid unnecessary setbacks. Of course, with young players still developing and some positions unsettled, there will be inconsistencies. Mistakes are inevitable, and some games might not go as planned due to the learning curve of younger athletes. But the presence of steady veterans and strategic acquisitions like Bryce Huff bring depth and spark to the roster, tempering those risks. The mix of youthful potential and experienced leadership creates a balanced, promising outlook. All in all, there's a lot to get excited about with this 49ers squad. It's not just about the big names or flashy signings, but about the quietly confident moves and the young talent waiting to emerge. There's a buzz around players you might not have even heard much about yet, guys who could surprise everyone and become key contributors. With training camp just around the corner, the anticipation is building, the off-season grind is over, and the real football is about to begin. For fans, it's time to get hyped because this team has the pieces, the talent, and the coaching staff to make a serious run. What remains to be seen is how all these factors come together once the season kicks off. But if you ask me, the outlook couldn't be more promising. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Controversy is swirling around the San Francisco 49ers as rumors spread about a potential suspension of star running back Christian McCaffrey due to a doping violation. The news, which has not been officially confirmed by the team but has been hinted at through insider sources, could shake the foundations of the 49ers season and raise serious questions about the player's future in the league. Whispers around the NFL circles suggest that McCaffrey, who has been a crucial part of the 49ers offense, may be facing a suspension following a positive test for a banned substance. Although the 49ers organization has remained tight-lipped, sources close to the team have hinted that an official announcement could come soon, sending shockwaves through fans and analysts alike. If these rumors prove true, the 49ers would lose one of their most dynamic playmakers at a critical point in the season. McCaffrey's ability to impact both the running and passing games has made him invaluable, and his absence could force the team to scramble for answers as they push toward their playoff aspiration. The timing couldn't be worse. given the competitive nature of their division and the high expectations placed on the squad this year. This possible suspension has sparked intense debate among fans and pundits about the implications for McCaffrey's reputation and the 49ers locker room morale. Some argue that if the allegations hold, it might tarnish an otherwise stellar career, while others believe in the possibility of an error or misunderstanding that could be resolved quickly. Regardless, the situation highlights the ongoing challenges the NFL faces in maintaining a strict anti-doping policy and ensuring a level playing field. Speculation continues to mount as the league investigates, and insiders suggest that the 49ers front office is preparing for all scenarios, including the need to adjust their offensive game plan without their star running back. The potential suspension not only puts a spotlight on McCaffrey, but also tests the resilience and depth of the 49ers roster. For now, fans and analysts alike are left in suspense, awaiting confirmation or denial of these troubling rumors. What is clear, however, is that if Christian McCaffrey is indeed suspended for doping, it would mark one of the most significant and controversial moments of the NFL season, and could alter the trajectory of the 49ers campaign in dramatic fashion. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.